There are people out there all across the country pushing boundaries to grow the game of golf. Like champion speed golfer Lauren Cupp, who plays faster than anyone else. And Will Lowry, whose work in the golf community inspires more kids to get into the game. As a champion partner of the Masters, Bank of America supports everyone determined to find out what's possible. In golf and in life. What would you like the power to do? Bank of America. Bank of America N.A. member FDIC, copyright 2025, Bank of America Corporation, all rights reserved.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. I don't know if you knew this, but anyone can get the same premium wireless for $15 a month plan that I've been enjoying. It's not just for celebrities. So do like I did and have one of your assistants switch you to Mint Mobile today. I'm told it's super easy to do at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. Intro rate first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See full terms at mintmobile.com.
Don't you love it when things are both easier and more affordable? Like when the rain washes your car for you. Or like when you save up to 10% by bundling your renters and auto insurance with USAA. Bundle with USAA and start saving. Get a quote today.
Achtung Millwall podcast supports the Lions Food Hub, dear listeners, and you can do too by getting yourself an Achtung Millwall t-shirt from noonelikes.co.uk, also known as Nolu Clothing. They've got a wonderful Achtung Millwall t-shirt on there for £15. At least £8 of each sale goes to support the Lions Food Hub, which does fantastic work for families in and around the South East 16 area. Show your allegiances on the podcast front, dear listeners, by getting yourself an Achtung Millwall t-shirt, and by doing that, you'll support the wonderful, the brilliant Lions Food Hub. Noonelikes.co.uk, Achtung Millwall t-shirt, £15. Check it out.
You're listening to Achtung Millwall, broadcasting from the beautiful South Birmingham. Accept no substitute.
Hello, dear listeners. Welcome, thrice welcome to the number one Millwall podcast, Achtung Millwall. Of course, my name is Nick Hart and I'm your host on this gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous spring afternoon here in Bermondsey with a visit of Championship mediocrities Portsmouth, wearing a kind of a very chic teal and white number, to 13th place Millwall. The season that won't quite lay down and die, dear listeners. The results this afternoon, earlier on this afternoon, mean that we still have a glimmer of hope of that 6th playoff spot. Losses for Coventry and West Brom mean that we've got a 8-point gap between us and Coventry. I had to check that. Sorry, apologies for the pause. I had to check 8 points gap. So a win for the Lions this afternoon is a must if we're going to retain any outside chance of playoff football, however dim that hope might be. We live in hope, don't we? Pompey, by contrast, sit in 17th spot. 5 points above Cardiff in the third relegation spot, so they will also want to win to ease their sense of discomfort. So good crowd in here this afternoon. Looks like a pretty packed house. There's a few empty seats around the den, but not many. I think a fairly decent Pompey turnout, as you might expect on such a beautiful Saturday afternoon. So it's great to be here with you, dear listeners. Your Lions starting 11. I think we've gone for a variation of 4-4-2 of sorts. I don't know. Jensen in goal, Kramer, Cooper, Tanganga, Bryan across the back line. Jules Saville, Casper Denoy as the midfield two. Either side of them, I think, will be Connolly, Aaron Connolly and Jules Honeyman. Up front, 2-man attacking force of Josh Coburn, Mihailo Ivanovic. Welcome to Jurassic Park, dear listeners. All you dinosaurs listening to the show. I want to dedicate this show, if we may, to the top sports journalist on the Daily Mail, Ollie Holt. Ollie Holt. If you're listening, Ollie, I bet you are. This one's for you, mate. I think he described us in his little hit piece in the Daily Mail this week as a kind of form of Jurassic Park, a place for dinosaurs. I quite like being a dinosaur, listeners. T-Rex. Can we chase down this prize 6 spot? Some might say it's highly unlikely. After last weekend's loss at the Stadium Light, I thought we livened up a little bit when we went with a front 2. But it was a fairly mundane affair all in all for a team that's supposed to be chasing, playoff glory. Anyway, teams are lining up to kick us off. Lions will be attacking the away end as per the teachings of the Venerable Bede, writing his Anglo-Saxon chronicles at Jarrow Monastery in the 9th century England. Pompey will be attacking the Coldburn in the first half. Fingers crossed. Early possession, Millwall inside the Pompey half, inside the first minute. A little bit of head tennis, that's up in the air, whereas that's going to go for a throw-in over on the right side. We're still inside the first minute, I believe. It's going to be a long throw from Jeffat Tanganga. My player of the season. Did you vote, dear listeners? You go on the club website, you can cast your vote. I know Liam Roberts will draw a few, but I think Jeffat, on being serious, in comes that long throw, ball forwards, and it's hoofed clear by Portsmouth. Consistently good though across the season for me, Tanganga. I couldn't really see past him for player of the season. I suppose Casper Denor might expect to come in the frame, possibly Joe Bryan in the frame, but for me, Jeffat Tanganga. Who did you choose, dear listeners? Who did you go for? Article in London News Online, the South London Press, talking to Aaron Connolly about his contract situation. He seems to love it here. Whether that can translate into whether the club will want him next season, I personally really like the look of him. I know he's got issues, in inverted commas, issues. Whether that will get in the way of any contract, I think he really does supply quality and touch. This is Pompey on our left-hand side. The ball into the box. There's Tanganga in the mix. It's gone for a goal kick. A little moment I thought we might have been in trouble there, listeners. Connolly. Quality, your touch, vision, everything you might want. I suppose he wouldn't be here if he wasn't suffering with issues, would he? Watching the Sunderland game last week, my wife said to me, why did Sunderland let him go if he's such a great player, as I was describing. And it's very true, you don't let good players go unless there's a problem. So anyway, I don't know. Conversations for the summertime, as Alex Neil has been saying repeatedly in inquiries from journalists about who's going to get what. This is Josh Coburn. I keep going to say James Coburn, the film star, listeners. He was in the Magnificent Seven, wasn't he? This is Connolly. Gets balked by the 2. It's going to be a free kick. Left-hand side. About 3 minutes into the game. Good atmosphere. Talking about dinosaurs, I did see Jordan Archer warming up for Portsmouth in the pre-match practices. He's on the bench this afternoon for them. Remember him, Jordan Archer? Used to be the future once. Ha ha ha. Anyway, it's going to be Jules Saville to take this free kick. Left flank. Probably about 5 yards short of the point of the left side of the penalty area. In we come. Headed clear. Ticking towards the 5th minute. George Honeyman to take. Clip backwards, finds, on the volley, George Saville. A very similar kind of move, perhaps, to the one that we conceded against Sunderland last week. It was nice to see it tried. It was a clipped corner to the edge of the penalty area where George Saville caught it on the volley. What wide in the event, but nice to see a bit of imagination on the set pieces, dear listeners. Gentle breeze, kind of cool edge to it, the breeze. It's a lovely sunny day, but it's in the shade. You need your woolly on, listeners. Need your jumper on. For any American listeners, that's probably going to be called knitwear out there. In South East London, it's called your jumper. All over the top, down the left flank for Kramer to deal with. It's into the mix there from the Pompey winger. It's gone for a corner, left-sided corner for Portsmouth. 8 minutes. In comes the Portsmouth corner. It's a near post one. It's bounced away from the goal. Yeah, apparently this is Portsmouth's first away league visit to Millwall since Boxing Day 2011 when we won 1-0. Thanks to a long forgotten name, dear listeners. Danny Nguessen scored that goal in 2011. Can you believe that? Anyway, back to the action here. This is Jeff Tanganga on the right wing. He's tried to clip it back to Denor, but that was a little bit over hit there. What a great name from the past that was, Danny Nguessen, dear listeners. Spent most of his time drawing his wages, sat on the bench, if I remember rightly, or being injured. But anyway, he scored against Portsmouth in 2011, so it's 5 goals all in all in his 2-year stint at the Den. What's your favourite Danny Nguessen memory, dear listeners? Do let me know. Email me on achdungmillwall@gmail.com for your favourite Danny Nguessen memories. Coming towards the halfway point in the first half, not huge amounts of goalmouth action so far. Brian get involved in a little bit of handbaggery down there with the 30. Having a good old word with the referee, Joe Bryan, as well. There's a solid challenge, but I didn't think it was that bad a one, but Bryan has reacted to it, and he's having a word with the Portsmouth manager now. The fourth official, I think it is, not their manager. What's this? The goalkeeper's down. There was a water break. Ain't that hot? Portsmouth goalkeeper gone down. This is 26 minutes. Plenty of dead ball opportunities and balls into the box. And with our height advantage, we would probably be expecting to take advantage of that over the course of this first half at some point, listeners. We haven't really so far, in truth. There's a ball lob forwards. It's towards Tanganga. It falls to Saville. It's bobbing around. Falls to Honeyman. It's a bit of head tennis still in the D. Just over the heads of Ivanovic. Wouldn't really run for the Millwall forwards there. So, as I say, with the height advantage, we've looked vaguely intent. We have vague intent. I'll try and get my words out. But I wouldn't say we've looked dangerous so far. A little flick header on there. This is Ivanovic inside the right side of the box. This is Coburn. Falls to Saville trying to find a shot there. It is blocked. This is wide now. Aaron Connolly on the left side. He cuts inside. He will want to have a little go, I think. This is Jules Saville. Finds Denor back to Connolly. Shot is blocked, loops up higher. Goalkeeper collects. This is a ball out wide for the 30 for Portsmouth on the right side of the mill. That's a great challenge, a great tackle there by Joe Bryan, who brings it away and finds Casper Denor in space on a surge here now, listeners. This is Ivanovic now on his left side. What will he do? He gets a ball in, claiming handball. I think it was fired into him rather than a handball. If I'm going to be really honest, listeners, call me Nick VAR. A lot of people shouting for handball. I don't think it was. Nice break. Nice break from defence there. Anyway, it's going to go for a Millwall throw-in. Just Portsmouth on our left side. And backwards here. About halfway inside the Millwall half now, so the free. Back onto the left flank. Ball in from the left side. That's falls. Oh, shot on goal. Nicely saved there by Lucas Jensen, dear listeners. That was a bit of loose defence in truth, but anyway, it fell to the forward there, who got a shot away on target, a difficult shot, and Lucas Jensen got down well to block that. First real chance of the game for either side, in truth. Came from loose Mill defensive play, in my opinion. I'd have to see it again, but it was a good save. 39 minutes. Apparently Steve Gallen, listeners, has been up in Aberdeen watching the form of Millwall player. It's easy to forget that still. Kevin Nisbet, who's on loan at Aberdeen, been scoring goals up in Scottish football. There was a bit of quite a good conversation on the South London Press podcast between Rich Corley and Ed Boyden, I think his name is, about Nisbet's future. Apparently the club line with Alex Neil is that we'll take a look at his situation in the summertime, and Gallen went up to see him play anyway. I suppose a lot depends on the player, whether he wants to come back, whether the club want him back. Wasn't a success really, in truth, down here, was he? And he is a success up in Scotland, has been a success in Scottish football. It may be that's where his future is best placed, in which case, personally, I don't think we'll see him again back at the Den, but club's got to say, we're going to take a look at it all in the summertime, didn't they? But he was saw him in contention with the Scottish national team recently, so you know it's going well for him up there in the Granite City. Good luck to him. I'd imagine Macaulay Langstaff will be in the same kind of boat, really. I saw him warming up earlier on in this game. It's a bit of a pause at the moment, if you're wondering why I'm waffling on. I think it's Tanganga's down at the moment, but yeah, Langstaff apparently was at Notts County the other night, was waving to the crowd as a kind of guest of honour up there. So whether that's an indication of future direction. Tanganga's walking off, whether that's off, or just off in the wake of treatment, I don't know. He's usually a rugged character, so I'd be surprised if he's gone off. It looks like he's got his arm wrapped up. That may well be that he's injured and will leave the field of play. Yeah, looks like he's done his arm in, listeners. Good applause for Jaffet. Ryan Leonard coming in. I imagine Kramer will come central. Leonard going in that right back position. And Condolly's gone down now from a challenge on the left side. He's still off the pitch. Mill will break with 10 men. This is Coburn. Connolly hobbles back into the game. Took a bit of a whack as he went down the left side there from in our own half. Just a bit of a drifty quality now about the game, listeners. 5 minutes added time. Connolly won't want to come out of the game. He will want to advertise his wares, really, if he's looking for a contract. There's a lovely little back heel there by Joe Bryan, finding the said Aaron Connolly on the left side. He seems to be running all right at the moment. Surges into the box. That's going to go for a left-sided corner. A nice run there by Connolly. Hopping, he's still holding his calf, but done well there. Left-sided corner. George Honeyman to take. It's a deep one. The referee blows up for something. Who knows? Ivanovic with his shirt being pulled off his back. Referee gives a free kick. Millwall free kick. Left side. 30 yards now. Too far to have a go. The angle's all wrong, so it's going to be a cross, I would think. Honeyman Saville over the ball. In it comes. There's a deep one. There's Kramer. Ball through, ran free for a moment there. No one was on the end of it there. That was a moment. Headed back from the right side. This is now Ryan Leonard. This is Kramer. Ball chips across. This is Connolly. What can he do? He's fired a shot. The ball's just seemed to sit there for an eternity, dear listeners. Almost like the time stood still in there, but it's cleared. Neil's best phase of the half, really. Probably about a minute or so to go, I would say, of the half. Yep, there it is. Referee can't have his cup of tea, dear listeners. Half-time 0-0.
It's time for basketball, and Uber Eats is dropping deals on game day favorites to keep you locked in on the action. Like when you're craving a buzzer beater, but also buffalo wings. Or when an upset makes you want to ugly cry into a pizza. And right now, Uber Eats has game day deals from McDonald's, Popeyes, Pizza Hut, Wendy's, and hundreds more local favorites. So you can keep your eyes on the ball and your hands on a hamburger. Order now, only on Uber Eats. Product availability varies by region. See app for details.
Uh-oh. The last cookie.
You can get a new box of cookies in as fast as an hour with Walmart Express Delivery.
Are you my guilty self-conscience?
No, I'm the voice offering you promo code EXPRESS for free delivery on your first order.
Hey, who ate my cookies?
You mean, these cookies?
Order now. Welcome to your Walmart. Promotion valid for first express delivery order. $50 minimum subject to availability. Restrictions apply.
This episode is brought to you by Indeed. When your computer breaks, you don't wait for it to magically start working again. You fix the problem. So why wait to hire the people your company desperately needs? Use Indeed's sponsored jobs to hire top talent fast. And even better, you only pay for results. There's no need to wait. Speed up your hiring with a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply.
Achtung, Millwall.
Two sides are back out for the second half, dear listeners. Portsmouth will be attacking their fans in the away end in the second half, and Lions will of course be attacking the cold blow as per the teachings and dictums of the Venerable Bede himself. The 9th century Anglo-Saxon Jarrow. Millwall shall attacketh ye cold blow in ye second half, he wrote. Amazing but true. Portsmouth's going to kick off the second half. Not huge amounts of danger to report in that first period. Lions look kind of vaguely dangerous without any real cutting edge. A metaphor for the season, dear listeners. I remember Portsmouth had one shot which was well saved by Lucas Jensen, so there's about as much as any direct action there was to report. We are underway. As it stands, I was looking at the half-time results and early kick-offs. As it stands, Bristol City have muscled into the 6th spot, the prized 6th playoff spot on 60 points. I think they're winning at the moment, and other results have combined to take out Coventry and West Brom. So our task is getting ever further away, to be really blunt. We're still not showing any real danger of scoring a goal. And with so few games now, this would be game 40 after the end of today's full-time whistle. We're just running out of opportunities to claw back those points, listeners. So, yeah. Like I said in the previous edition, don't stick your mortgage on it. This is a free kick for Portsmouth, just inside the Mill half. Chance for them to put the ball into the mix, and it comes. Deep. It's off the head of Jake Cooper. It's going to go wide. Throw in. Nice work. Connolly wins the ball. He's a throw in on the right side. 54 minutes. It was 55. Right side throw in. Like Ryan Leonard, long one. Or longish. Crowd trying to get behind the Lions. And it comes, it's a long one. Referee gives some infringement or another. That was a much longer one than I seem to remember Ryan Leonard going away injured with, listeners. Throw in, I'm talking about, misses. Confessions of Achtung have suddenly broken out on this show, listeners. Robin Asquith will be on soon. Bit of visceral hatred towards the away fans down below me, listeners. Good job Ollie Holt can't see that, he'd have a fit. Nice turn, Coburn on the halfway line. What can he do? He finds Ivanovic. Not much support there. This is Honeyman on the right flank. Coburn forwards. Nice take. Does well to win a right-sided corner. Nice work, Ivanovic, Coburn and Honeyman. A little trio. 56 minutes. Crowd building some pressure at least. Chance to get the ball in the action by George Honeyman. Right-sided corner. And it comes, near post. 1-0 Millwall! Near post header, who is that? Ivanovic! Doing the old DJ move. Nice flick header, near post ball from the right side corner. Been building, dear listeners. Near post header. Mihailo Ivanovic. Nicely done, dear listeners. Well, there we are. Quite hard to. It looks like just oh, here it comes, better angle. He does well, gets a bit of space. Flick heads it into the far post. 1-0 Millwall. Nicely finished, Mihailo. Portsmouth breaking forwards, listeners. On the right flank now. Chance to put the ball into the middle. It's headed clear by Tristan Kramer. Playing more centrally now, of course. But loose ball gives a chance for a shot for the Portsmouth midfielders. Down well, Lucas Jensen takes that daisy cutter. Skidding towards the left side post. 62 minutes. Oh, a bit of loose control by Jake. Gives the ball away there almost. That should be cleared and is. Bit of panic there from Jake Cooper. Puts it into touch on the right side. Gives a chance for a throw taken quickly by Portsmouth. We'll need just to calm things down. Come down the left side now. This is Ryan Leonard chasing his man back. That's over the top of everyone from the left-sided cross. That's going to go for a Millwall throw-in, dear listeners. Given to Pompey somehow. Must have touched Ryan, a lock of Ryan Leonard's hair. Ball in from the left side. Panicky defence. What's happened to Jake Cooper? Oh, brilliant save there. Loose ball. I think Jake Cooper's losing the plot out there, listeners. I'll have to see, did it hit the post or was it a save? I don't know. Ball fired in at Lucas Gents from the close range. I think he got down to it. Have to see that one again. May have hit the post. It might have been saved. I couldn't tell from my angle. Bit of loose defending there again, though. Jake seems to have had a slight case of the abdabs. 65 minutes. Ball on the left side of the Mill penalty area, the 15. Ball floats into the far post, over the heads of everyone. The 24 can't get it back, thankfully. It was a moment of freedom on that side. But Mill do ride it out, listeners. Good work by Mihailo Ivanovic. He's going to endear himself to the Millwall crowd big time with that kind of tracking back and challenging. Listen to that. When your centre forward does that, you are beloved at the Den, if nowhere else, listeners. Beautiful blue skies above Bermondsey, listeners. It's been a wonderful afternoon. Sunny, shadow now halfway across the pitch, but summer times are coming. Summer is a-coming. Well, Portsmouth, as we go into the final, 12 minutes, so in about 77 minutes. Portsmouth certainly pressing forward since that Millwall goal. Of course, a little bit of panic, unease in the Mill defence. I know with Tanganga down at the moment. Maybe partly the unfamiliarity of playing with Kramer and Cooper, but something going on down in the Portsmouth manager's dugout. Who knows what that is? Referee's gone over there and come away now. Fourth official ran purposefully down the tunnel. I dare say if the Daily Mail were here, they would have reported on that. They can't, because they're banned. Portsmouth now spreading the play wide right. 29, with a kind of like a flowing locks, trying to get the cross in there. It was blocked. Up against Joe Bryan here, another ball into the middle, headed clear. This falls to the free. Moment of danger here, what can he do? Shot across the face of the goal. This is the, oh, blimey, it's blocked, beautifully blocked shot there. Oh, it's put away. One each. The 21 decides to come over to the west lower. Millwall couldn't get that ball clear. I'll have to see in replay, listeners. It was very fast action. Eventually, if you don't get the ball clear, you can keep giving chances for shots and blocking with some life and death saving blocks there. But in the end, one's going to go in. It did, so it's one each. Millwall substitutions now. 81 minutes, 10 minutes to go roughly. Looks like it's Mark who's going to come on, and Macaulay Langstaff. Ball breaks, Idemo now on the left side. What can he do? Can he break into the box? Tries to fire it back. It's gone for a left-sided corner, dear listeners. We're on 86, 87 minutes. Jules Honeyman to take, left side. Here he comes, deep, deep, deep. Headed away, unfortunately. Falls to Denor. It's the ball back in the middle. Oh, 2-1! Ivanovic! Ball with the right side. Ivanovic heads home. 2-1! Oh, my giddy arm there, listeners. My giddy arm. Well, the Den's up for it. Put it that way, dear listeners. Ball fell to Casper Denor, but a right-sided crossing. There was Ivanovic to head home for two. Let's have a look at it on the screen. I can get an angle now. It comes away from the corner. Ball, it falls, referee lets play go there. That falls to Denor, puts it into the middle. There's Ivanovic to head home really nicely. 2-1 Millwall. 87, 88 minutes. Well. Wasn't expecting that. You've got to be honest with your listeners. Most agreeable. I think I shall celebrate with a nice glass of red tonight when I get home. What will you celebrate with, listeners? Presuming we go right forward and win the game. Pretty bit presumptuous. Looks like we're still 4-4-2 with Langstaff and Ivanovic as the two up front, listeners. The tactical insight for you there. Punditry, high-level punditry. Lovely little layoff from Ivanovic, finds him Marku. About 3 minutes into the sixth that's allocated. Marku on the left-hand side of the penalty area. He's going to have a go. He will. The shot was blocked by, I think that was Langstaff getting in the way there. Marku breaks through. It's Langstaff. What can he do? Shot was blocked by the goalkeeper there, put through by Imarku now, by Cordy Langstaff. Well, that was his big moment. It's gone for a left-sided corner. There it is, 2-1 Millwall. Hard work, deserved. I thought when the equaliser went in, listeners, going to be honest, I thought we might let this slip. But Millwall really worked hard. 2-goal Mihailo Ivanovic being the decisive factor. So, really good win. The season flickers on, dear listeners. There it is. Take it away, Mr. Bye for now. Here's the quote. And the light show.
Lowe's knows member-only doorbuster deals make SpringFest savings even better. Right now, rewards members can get 3 19.3-ounce Bonnie Plants vegetables and herbs for just $10. Plus, save $50 on a Charbroil Performance Series 4-burner grill, now $149. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 4/7, excludes Alaska and Hawaii. Selection varies by location, subject to change. While supplies last. Program subject to terms and conditions. Details at lowes.com/terms.
Wow, this house is cute. But can I really get in the game in this economy? I do have savings, and I am responsible-ish. I should bury it. I'm being wild. But what if I'm not being wild, though? Could I actually score a...
Kick off your home buying journey with Zillow's new BuyAbility tool. It makes it easy to find out what you can afford, so you can get off the bench and onto the playing field with confidence. Check your BuyAbility, only on Zillow.
Hey, this is Bill Simmons from the Bill Simmons Podcast, here to tell you that Michelob Ultra is giving you the chance to win tickets to the NBA Finals. That's right, the 2025 NBA Finals. Just head to MichelobUltra.com/NBA Finals. Michelob Ultra Courtside NBA Finals sweepstakes. No purchase necessary. Open to U.S. residents, excluding Maryland residents. 21 up. Begins at 9 a.m. EST on February 16, 2025. Ends on May 5th, 2025. See official rules at MichelobUltra.com/rules for price and details. Message and data rates may apply. Void where prohibited.
Achtung, Millwall.
Welcome back, dear listeners. Welcome to show regular Graham Payne. How you doing, Graham?
Yeah, not bad, Nick. Not bad. The season that just won't die.
It flickers, but It won't die, listeners. A 2-1 win yesterday, thanks to two decisive finishes by Mihailo Ivanovic. Funny old game I found, Graham, yesterday. It was like the first half was, I always thought danger was imminent without ever actually arriving. And, we played quite well, I thought, but we didn't seem to have that decisive cutting edge. The second half, a little bit different. The two decisive chances, obviously, were the difference. But I applauded the two-man front line. How did you see yesterday's game from your side? Did you like that 4-4-2 style approach? Was it 4-4-2? In your opinion?
I think it was 4-4-2, and I think that's probably the best they've played together as a pair. They've tried it a couple of times. It hasn't really worked. But I think, if you're going to do it, you've got to give them a run of a few games. You can't just one game then go back to it in 6. And but obviously the issue is that obviously we keep saying it, but Coburn's not our player, and they could work well together. But come the start next season, will he be with the club? But I suppose that could change in the summer, and someone else could come in and pre-season to work on that.
Yeah, they made noises about wanting to sign him, and I thought you're right. Certainly in the second half, the first half, as I said, I had a sense that we were okay, but without much in the way of goalmouth action.
Yeah.
There was a shot. I think George Saville had a shot from a set piece, which is actually quite nice to see a decent, practiced set piece. The corner, wasn't it, in the first half, and that was pleasing. I like in the second half we probably went a little bit more direct in the second half, and the flick on headers from both Ivanovic and Coburn gave you the sense there was a potential partnership there. You're right though, he's not a player. We seem keen to sign him. He seems to be, as far as you can tell, anything keen to come. So maybe that might be a partnership for the future if that comes. We haven't really seen AJ Matthews, the youngster, either. So we don't know whether that can be another, half of that front too.
Yeah.
Certainly, the two finishes from Ivanovic was probably the real talking points. Two nice headers, both very similar, weren't they? The first goal was that from a corner, George Honeyman corner. Nicely put away, actually. I thought it was his best game in a Millwall shirt, Ivanovic, overall. How did you see him, Graham?
Yeah, mate, you're right, Nick. I think, it's been said before that what you've got to realise is he's young, isn't he? And we've had, even you go back to Sheringham when he first started, he was a very hit and miss, and sadly, so I just think it's a case you've just got to, let him develop. And I think you said, maybe in the summer put a bit of bulk on, and because he does at times seem to get knocked off the ball a bit easily by the centre halves. But yeah, I'll go along with that. That was probably his best game in a Millwall shirt yesterday.
I was impressed. Clearly they're working with the boy, and that's kind of what you'd expect. But he's improving going forward. He found space for both goals. That's pleasing, Graham, because that's an art form, isn't it? Finding space in a crowded box. But also he did a bit of tracking back. He did a little bit of work, did a few tackles, and that's good to see from your front players. Expected at this level. So no, I was really, really struck by him. I mean, he got man of the match inside the stadium, rightly so. He was my man of the match for the 2-goal contribution. Another player that I thought one or two have mentioned him, but he gets slated a lot is George Honeyman. I thought he actually had a decent game yesterday. I couldn't see what more you could have wanted out of him. Playing as a right winger, really, or that right midfielder, I suppose you'd say. But maximum effort and puts himself around. And I think Alex Neil said in his post-match comments that was probably more his position rather than in the kind of more attacking 10 role. But I thought he did really well yesterday, Honeyman. He would have been, along with Joe Bron, been my mentions in dispatches, rather than man of the match, perhaps.
I agree, Nick. I mean, that was probably one of Honeyman's best games, for a long while in a Millwall shirt. And it was, as when the teams would come out and there was all moans and groans, oh, he's back, but because I thought he was out for the season, to be honest, because he hadn't been mentioned that he was coming back. And he had a good game. And I think, Joe Bryant, I know he probably won't, but he's probably been the most consistent player since Alex Neil took over, I think, in his run of games. And I know he did the error for they had a shot in the first half that Jensen saved well, where
they did, decent save,
the guy.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'm struck by, and that, we mentioned Ivanovic, but Honeyman and Brian. Brian is a quality player. He's had a decent level career, so he's arrived with as a high level player with us, but he hasn't always shown that. But both he and Honeyman, I think, have improved under Alex Neil. It's quite interesting to see there are certain players that seem to be coming good under Alex Neil. He seems to have the support of the squad in what he's trying to do here, Graham, which is, and the improvements you're seeing with those kinds of players. And like Ivanovic, I'm really impressed with Alex Neil since he's arrived. I don't know, I haven't seen much. There's not always someone's got something to say online about the manager, but there's not really much not going on at the moment. People, I think, seem to recognise he's improving us.
I think what he's hopefully trying to do is what Joe Edwards tried to do in about a month. He's doing it gradually, and hopefully next season we'll see. Gets a pre-season under him. Gets a pre-season under him. I still think we need one or two more players, and then we go from there.
Well, he must see it. I mean, listening to his post-match comments, he's a very honest reviewer after the game, Alex Neil, and he wasn't particularly happy with when we went ahead. We took our foot off the petrol slightly, and I thought we looked a little bit panicky at times. There was one or two really oddball moments. I know the injury to Jeff Tanganga could be a bit of a blow. We don't know how long he's going to be out for. But Jake Cooper seemed to have almost like a nervous breakdown in central defence at one point, leading to their goal, which I think he was a bit unhappy about how we backed off them a little bit, thinking maybe the game's done and dusted. So I think he sets quite a high bar for his sides, but he does seem to have the knack of producing the best out of certain players. So it's going to be an interesting summertime. A win's a win. 3 points keeps the season running for us, Graham. But I think the playoffs do look a long way off. Being realistic, don't they? I was desperately playing with the championship results predictor online last night. This is how it gets sometimes, listeners. Really hard to see a way forwards for us finishing sixth. But anyway, the dream could continue for the moment, can't it?
We've got a hard game Tuesday night with Sheffield United away.
Tuesday night is
they
a
lost
hard
to
game.
Rowan.
Yeah. And Bristol City look quite well placed now, don't they? So it's going to be a hard road. But I think to finish the season in hopefully a couple of more wins yet to go. But it was a pleasing second half performance more than the first for me, despite that panicky phase. It's going to be interesting to see how Kramer I thought slotted in quite nicely in the central defence. I suppose he's a natural replacement if Tanganga is going to be out for any period of time. It remains to be seen. We haven't any news on that as yet. I thought he played quite well yesterday as well. Kramer, he seems to have slotted into the side very naturally, doesn't he?
Well, without stating the obvious, I think if Tanganga goes, or when he goes, I don't know what's going to be. I think he's the natural successor. I think that's why
he's the natural replacement.
In case he went in January, Tanganga. He seemed fine. But as you say, Cooper's. It was the same when he used to be with Hutchinson. If Hutchinson wasn't there, he wasn't the same. And now it's Tanganga.
Hopefully, he looks a little bit lost.
Hopefully, he can develop with Kramer if he's going to be in for the rest of the season.
Tell a little story for the listeners. I was once staying on a French farm and watching the farmer herd the geese around, and they complain and quack and they run. The farmer's kind of guiding them from one end of the farm to the other, whilst all the geese kind of do what they're told, complaining. As soon as the farmer went inside his house for a cup of coffee, I would imagine out there, the geese just stood there completely lost, didn't know what to do without anything to complain about. And I'm sometimes reminded of that with Jake Cooper when he hasn't got his partner with him. He looks a bit like these geese stood outside the farmer's house, wanting to be told what to do. Anyway, strange analogy for your listeners. But it's Sunday morning and I've only just got up, so you're going to get strange analogies. I just want to close with one player that we've mentioned a few times this week, Graham, which is Aaron Connolly. Probably wasn't his most decisive game yesterday, but he always looks quality on the ball. A few reports saying he's liking it at Millwall, and a few people have replied online, give him a contract, give him somewhere to call home, so this kind of thing. I mean, I really like the look of him. He's got a level of quality and vision on the ball that sets us. We're crying out for it with kind of attributes we need, but we don't know enough about his off-field battles, shall we call them?
No.
I would like to see him stay. How do you see the Aaron Connolly question before I let you go, Graham? I mean, would you give him a contract? We don't know enough maybe about his off-field stuff.
Yeah, I mean, he put a comment out in a week, didn't he? About what did he say? Something about he at times he struggles and
he's loving it.
He likes it there, but sometimes he's not 100%. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe there can be some sort of contract where obviously he's got to agree to it, but if things don't work, then Mill can terminate or something like that. But I think, maybe give him a year's contract. I don't know, see how he goes. But I mean, we was talking about in the group, and rightly or wrongly, Millwall's not a club that we them sort of passengers, is it? We need the whole squad.
No, someone made a great point that we're not the Betty Ford clinic, which I thought was a great response. And we're not. We're not. Equally, if from Aaron Connolly's point of view, I mean, he's struggling with an illness. Let's not beat around the bush. Alcoholism is an illness, and he's been quite open about his struggles. Purely from the football point of view, when you look at him play, I think he's got top level quality and touch, and he brings a vision that we're crying out for, as I've said. As far as everything else is concerned, if he can't make it here, he's come down from Sunderland. A player with these kinds of issues is looking at a downward slope for his career. So he's at probably a bit of a crossroads. Many do come to Millwall in that kind of crossroads sense, Graham. We've seen it many times over the years. Some make it, some don't. Ben Marshall was a good example of a player that had it all and then finished up playing in literally in a pub league up in Lancashire. But I think Connolly's probably at that kind of crossroads. If he can't make it happen at Championship level Millwall, then he's looking downwards, really, isn't he? So the boy needs some good advice, I think, and he needs to sort himself out. If we can help do that, then we can gain also. And I think that's where I would be hoping that the club look at. But obviously, we don't know enough about the rest of it, and maybe it's unfair to even be talking about it. I don't know, but. I'd like to see him. I'd like to see him stay on some form of contract that gives us some protection if it don't work out. We'll see. It's a big summer ahead, really, Graham. I mean, let's presume we finish, top half, 10th, 11th, 9th. I don't know, something of that kind. There's a lot of work to be done, and some players will be leaving us. I think in the summertime that. You don't have to look too far to start to see those players. But it's going to be an interesting summertime. I do like the general direction that Alex Neil's trying to take us in. You can see the bare bones of something forming that's not quite clicking at the moment. I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful that it's going to work out for us. Are you optimistic for next season?
I am, Matt. Yeah, I am. I just think, I like the look of Negri. I think Aziz has been a good signing. The others that came in, I suppose Kramer, he's been good. But I do, as I said, I think we definitely, whether Coburn or not, we need another striker. So Langstaff's going to go, I think. No, unfortunately, it's just not worked out.
Yeah, he had a moment.
So we need
I thought the Hollywood ending was lined up. Yeah.
Yeah. And the keeper
he didn't put that away, did he? That chance. That's been the story of his season.
And then the big issue for me is the creativity in midfield and where that goes. I think Denor's been excellent. I mean, a lot of people, saying player of the season. So, but Saville and
he's a contender. He's a contender, I think.
Yeah. Saville and I know Billy. I just. We just need something a bit different, a bit more creative in midfield, I think. And that's at times, with the lack of goals.
Yes, we need some flair.
It's been an issue for a long time. And
some flair to come in from somewhere.
And I think it's been said, and all Kundal, apart from that first game where even I was raving that, we've got someone here. He's not really done it, has he, since then? Typical, we've got someone here. But
no. Yeah.
Big summer.
Big summertime ahead. I wouldn't put my mortgage on us making the playoffs, listeners. But we'll see. Big trip to Sheffield United. We're going to do anything. We need a win up there as well. But one step at a time. Graham, I want to say thank you for joining me on a Sunday morning. I really appreciate it, mate. Thanks for coming on.
Cheers, Nick. Anytime, mate.
And thank you to you too, dear listeners, for tuning in to Achtung Millwall. We'll be back. I'm talking to Merv tomorrow on Monday, so we'll be back with Monday with Merv. So until then, stay tuned. Arrivederci Millwall, and bye for now.
podcast is part of the Sports Social Podcast Network.